We're gonna do the executive session one first, okay?
I didn't hear you, Deb. It was the recording in progress was up when you were speaking.
Okay. So this is BBS hearing for Thursday, December 15th. And Wayne, you can get started.
Okay, is everybody in that's gonna be in here?
We're just gonna read the first,
Oh, we're just reading it into the,
well,
okay,
the executive session case will be read into the record that you approved the later request.
okay, all right, fine. All right, Wayne Miller, board member?
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspections.
Okay, well, anybody, Tom, you're under oath anyway, so anybody here who's going to testify in the case, please raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Spot, reply. Okay, Tom, give us a little idea of this case, please.
This is an appeal request in the executive session for 2823 West Clementine Street. In that the property has been declared as unsafe. The following request is that the appellant claims that they didn't get notice and are asking to file an appeal after the appeal period has expired. It is my recommendation that the board does grant this request and takes the appeal hearing and schedules it at the next available hearings.
Okay, I agree with it.
I agree.
Amy?
I agree.
Ed?
I agree.
Okay, they got that request for the late appeal request? It's fine. Okay, let's move on.
Thank you. Next case is case number 1. Phil, do you want to read it? Or do you want him to read it in? Let me see who's here in the waiting room.
Okay,
Now, I only have Mr. Wallace, so Miss Davis is not here.
okay,
So we're gonna move forward anyway.
all right. Okay, so 127's not here?
No,
Okay, Huntington Park,
yes,
they're here?
yes.
Okay, all right, want to bring them in?
You want to do Hunting Park next?
Well, if they're here, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Tom, give me a little rundown on this again.
This is the one where we received the appellant packet or the appeal application makes reference that they're not sure where the violation is. Even though the violation notice does spell out a tree growing through the masonry units of this property. And then we received an email this morning showing where there had been plywood affixed to the property, generally where the tree or vegetation has been removed. So my assertion to the board would be a permit within 45 days.
Okay, want to bring the group in?
Sure, it's only one person.
Okay, bring them in.
Okay. His name is Jerome Wallace.
Jerome Wallace, okay. Okay.
Connecting to,
Is he connected?
he is connecting now.
Oh, okay.
Hello, do you hear me?
Hello, Jerome,
Yes,
how you
Mr.
doing?
Wallace.
I'm doing okay. How you doing, sir?
Okay, we're gonna get started, okay? My name's Wayne Miller, I'm the board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Matthew
Nice to
Wojcik,
meet you.
LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Bill?
Philip Motto,
Hello?
Boards Administration.
Tom Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
Okay, anybody testifying in this case, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Mr. Wallace, can you
Yeah.
respond?
Yes, I'm raising my right hand.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Just,
Yes.
you're good then. Tom?
So for the property at 1991 Hunting Park Avenue, the property has been declared as unsafe due to conditions of the masonry or the rear wall and side wall. Page 3, or actually page 2 of the violation notice, which is attached to the appellant's packet, where the appellant's appeal application. That page, the condition in violation is tree growing through rear wall, deteriorated sidewall. The appeal paperwork or the application, the reason for the appeal is location not clear by inspector, nor problem. I'm a little concerned in that this morning we received a email with photographs attached to that email where it appears that vegetation or repairs have been made to the property prior to today's administrative hearing. I checked the system. There has not been an application for a permit or for the repairs to this property. So it's my assertion with the board in that there is work being done to the property. You can see that some sort of repairs are being done, that the board, or the recommendation I'm giving the board, is 45 days to obtain a contractor and obtain a make safe permit for the repair of the property.
Okay, Mr. Wallace, you want to speak on your behalf?
Yes.
Excuse me.
What?
If I may interrupt, I would just advise the board that the board ask Mr. Wallace to turn on his video if possible for identification purposes.
Let me see. I'm trying. I'm sorry. I got you on my phone. Let me see. I'll start video. Okay. I'm
There
sorry. I'm
you
a
go.
little tech.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm a little tech. I'm not that tech savvy with this.
You and me both. Believe me.
And
Okay,
Wayne, we need to have this read into the record as well.
yes, we will. We just, I just want to get everybody's picture and respond to it. Okay, Phil, you want to read it into the record?
Yes, sir. This is case number 2 on the list, MI 2022-005-540 for 1991 Hunting Park Avenue. Jerome Wallace is the appellant.
Mr. Wallace, tell us your side of the story, pal.
Well, okay. First of all, I came to the building. I seen a yellow, I guess the little, yeah, whatever you call
I
it.
got you.
And what happened is that I looked there and I noticed that it's the wrong address. First of all, the property's not 1991. That's a middle property. It's 4 address there. So what happened is that when I seen that, I tried to call immediately down to the offices, and no one could find it into the computer. So then I said, well, okay, let me get on the bus and I'm gonna come down. And eventually when I got down there, they couldn't find it. So what happened is that I think I've some kind of way I lucked up, and I think the guy name is CW, whoever the inspector is, and he gave me his actual number. So when I called the guy, and the guy says, yeah, it's just a tree in the wall. He didn't really give me no instructions. He just got, he just got off the phone. So I says, you know what, let me make this appeal. Because I really wasn't trying to make this appeal. I was just trying to correct the problem. So what happened is he told me, yes, a tree in the wall. And what happened is that when I started talking around, I'm thinking, what is this tree? I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I went and got a saw, and it was just, it wasn't into the wall. It was just up against it. But then also the problem that I have is that next door, there was to me, I guess a car wash that was running illegal water from fire hydrant. That's one of the pictures that I submitted. And me and my father got arrested, so he passed away. Being a correction officer, he had all these heart attacks. And what happened is we've been complaining. So I never seen that wall because they had one of them little pop-up car washes. But eventually they moved next to me. So I never seen that wall, and it was all these hundreds of thousands of water, tons of water or gallons of water was pushed up against my wall. And I've been complaining to LNI and to the city to come out and stop this. So eventually when the guy got kicked out of there because a new owner that's when I seen what was happening. So I'm thinking that, when I talk to the inspector, that I'm thinking there's some major problems and I probably have to sue these people. But then I just went and got a saw and it cut off. So that's part of the pictures right there. All I did was cut the whatever the vegetation was, which I feel as though that was the cause of this car wash. But then we also made a lot of complaints to LNI, and I couldn't understand how could somebody get this massive car wash with no sewer drains. There was no sewer drains, and the water just keeps splatting up against it. And we call LNI, and what happened is that I never seen a license that was posted to the gate. I made it, if you see in the pictures where you can see where the cars are actually there, and they actually, when I put a camera there, they put a board up so I couldn't even look out there. There was no driveway for this car wash to come in. They would come up on the curb. I complained to the police, and they told me, well, you know, they've been there for a little while. What can we do? So now I'm saying to myself, you know, wow, y'all gonna knock down my building for, to me, a car wash that shouldn't been there because there was no drainage. So where's all this water going? And then when they finally, they got kicked out of there, and they moved around the corner. So then they called, obviously, or I think the medical center wanted to buy my property, and I turned them down. So mysteriously, I see LNI shows up and tell me that it's trees going through my wall. When I cut the vegetation, you can clearly see, and I purposely didn't paint it, where you can see where all it was pushed away from it.
Okay.
And that's.
Do you have any pictures?
Yes, I submitted them. I think I sent them to. I'm not sure who's. They sent me an email before I got this link, and then I sent some pictures back.
Okay.
But I can try to add some. I'm not that much.
Okay, hold on. Tom, I got it. Let's ask you what Tom. Tom, what do you got?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. I actually attached your packet, Mr. Wallace, to the end of my packet. They will show the two different the differences between the inspection that occurred by the department and then your assertion that the vegetation has been removed. At the conclusion, I'm going to recommend to the board that they grant the variance, that you either contact the area inspector for a re-inspection of the property to see what's happening with the violation, if it is in compliance, or if not, then you need to obtain the make safe permit for the repair of the property. That's to be done within 60 days. But I'll share the screen so that everybody can see what we're all talking about. So, can everybody see the screen?
Yes, we see it, Tom.
So here's the appeal filing, the notice.
Uh-huh.
And then here's the photographs that were taken by the inspector.
Can you flip it, Tom?
So this is it's a single story masonry building. The posting was onto the front door, or the access point to the property, and it involved the side wall. I'll rotate it again so that you can see it. So this illustrates, over to the left-hand side, this portion of the building, you can see there's a lot of vegetation on that side of the property.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was the email that we received this morning. And you can see that vegetation or the absence, and there is a piece of plywood or OSB that has been affixed to the property. So that's why I'm saying to Mr. Wallace that if he contacts the area inspector, the case could be marked complied, or we would ask that the make safe permit be pulled within 60 days for the repair of the property. You can see
Is that plywood new?
Yeah, what it is that door been there. That's actually a door, and it always been wood on there. And what happened was that when my father bought that, I probably was a little kid, probably about 14 years old, and people actually was breaking in. So we always kept boards over there. So yeah, that's pretty much what it was or whatever. That's actually a door. But my dad, what happens when we first got the property, they kept on breaking in. So we never opened up that door, and we always put wood on it.
Okay, so that new plywood has always been there, and it's not there because you're covering up damage to the wall, correct?
Nah.
Okay.
What it is that they broke in. I mean, even 2 months ago, they stole like $8,000 worth of rugs and it was pretty bad. It's pretty bad down there. It's
Okay.
pretty bad.
So my recommendation to the board just is as it stands. I'm going to give you the area inspector who is assigned to the case. The area inspector is Inspector Stallworth. It's Stallworth, and I'll give you his office number. You can call him in the morning. He's available anytime between 8 and 10 typically. After that, then they're out in the field doing their inspections. You could contact Inspector Stallworth, schedule for the inspection. They'll come out. If the property is still in violation, he'll go over the violations with you. And then we ask that you pull the permit with a contractor to make necessary repairs within 60 days.
And if it's not, if there's no violation, what it's complied with, right?
Inspector Stallworth would comply the case and mark the case. Inspector Stallworth's number is 215.
Can you email it to me? I don't have no pen with me or whatever. Can you? Didn't you? Was you the one that I sent the pictures to?
I was one of them. I'll attach it to the email. I'll send it to you at the conclusion.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good luck, Jerome, and we'll go from what the inspector says, all right?
Wait, are we cleared up?
I can tell you this. My dad, God rest his soul, he would be happy right now.
All right.
Because
Is
he
the
was
address
a
issue
prison
cleared
guard.
up?
What's
Tom, is
that?
the address issue cleared up? He's saying there was the wrong address on the violation.
Oh yeah, yeah. The address is not actually 1987 to 89. That's the actual address. Anything against that wall, because it's actually 4 addresses. So I know that it starts at 87 to 89, and then in the middle was 1991, and then on the end is 1993. So that is the wrong address. Yes.
Was the car wash 91?
It was they was 83 to 85.
Oh, okay, it's on the other side. Okay, all right.
So,
Okay.
Mr. Wallace, so I'm glad Mr. Rivera brought it up. You do own 1991 Hunting Park Avenue.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, but it's just when he said the wall, and I'm thinking, wow, the wall. My dad had to explain it to me too when he bought it. I didn't understand the addresses.
1991 where the building is, or is it a different address?
It's 87, 89. That's where the building is.
87, 89. Okay, so
That's correct.
in that case, this case, if it is in fact still in violation, this case would have to be rewritten to reflect that address. So my assertion to the board is that there's no action right now because this is the wrong address. So you do need to schedule an inspection with Inspector Stallworth, because if it's a different address, we would have to issue the violation to the correct address. So right now, there's no action by the board because this property, 1991, has to be rewritten. This case should be ended. We'll recommend that with the area inspector. But in the meantime, you need to contact Inspector Stallworth, have him come out and take a look at the properties.
Tom,
Okay, thank you.
in fact it is, if when he goes out there, if he considers it to be complied with, does he issue it to the correct address and comply it at the same time? Or is that sort of 2 steps?
No,
Can the original just be, can we just say it was written in error? And then now there's probably no violation, but it can be looked at again.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, so I'll ascertain that to the area inspector to go out and re-inspect the property, but that, yes, this case needs to be correctly documented that it's written in error.
Okay.
So there's no action.
Jerome, give him a call, get it squared away on 87, 89, and what do we have to do?
Thank you. You're wonderful, all of y'all. Thank you. I look forward to it. I actually want to donate half of the land. To be honest, I was trying to donate to someone that tried to use, for like a nonprofit or something. I've been trying to find people or whatever, maybe like a SNAP program or the SHARE program or whatever. And I was kind of, I'm just telling you this from the way I feel. I was kind of hurt because, when the medical center actually wanted me to buy it, and I turned down their money. I says, no, I'm gonna keep half of it, and I want to dedicate something for someone. If someone wants to actually use it for something good or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I guess they was mad because I didn't sell it to them. And then this showed up. It was crazy.
You're getting it squared away, all right? Jerome,
Thank
get
you.
that squared away,
Thank
give
you.
that guy a call, and hopefully everything's good, that you removed all the vegetation and everything's clear sailing after that.
Thank you.
All right,
God bless
pal?
you all. God bless
right,
you all.
good,
Thank you.
Good.
Did you want Jamie to pull up the vote? Never mind.
What's
Okay, we're
that,
back
Deb?
on the record.
All right. So, this on Hunting Park Avenue, want to do that one? It was it doesn't apply here because it was the wrong, address. And, so do we have to read that into the file?
No, we covered it live. We've already done that one.
Okay, all right, we're done with that one. Now we gotta read
Gonna go to
Ellsworth
number-
in that it's complied.
Right, we have to read it. into
Okay,
the
all right, let's go.
bill.
Ready? Is the recording on?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay,
and the court reporter's recording.
I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Robikowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
Okay, 2107 Ellsworth Street has complied with the violation. And so there's no need to do anything else except read it into the minutes. Phil, you want to read it into the minutes or into the record?
This is case number 3, MI 2022-006-151. Property is 2107 Ellsworth Street. Michael McElhenney Esquire was the appellant. I believe the case is moot complied.
Good. Good. What else? Is there any other ones we have to read in?
Number 4.
West
Tom will
Gerard
Tom will
Avenue.
have to, right, so Phil can read it into the record and then Tom will have to read the settlement agreement because I'm not aware of that.
Well, Gerard Avenue, we were given 60 days for the permit to either make safe or demo, right, Tom?
Yes, that is.
Let's read it in first.
Okay, all right. Are you ready now? All right, Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Robikowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
Okay, as we always say, anybody testifying in the case, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, respond.
Yes,
Okay, Phil, read it into the record.
This is case number 4 on today's list, MI 2022-005-872 for the property at 4037 West Gerard Avenue.
Okay,
Tom?
Tom, tell us about it.
so this is for the property for 4037 West Gerard Avenue. It was first declared as unsafe back in March of 2020. And then the property was upgraded for it to by way of it continuing to degrade to eminently dangerous September of 2022. This morning I received communications with the appellant's representative, Mr. Larry Mester. The agreement between the department and Mr. Mester is that we are allowing or granting the variance for 60 days to obtain either a make safe permit or a demolition permit for this property.
Okay, so that agreement's been done and he's got 60 days to get the permit to either make it safe or to demo, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, fine, I'm in agreement, Amy?
I just have a question. It's listed as imminently dangerous. Why are we giving them 60 days?
The property itself has an open porch, but it does sit far off the actual public walkway, and the conditions are for the rear of the property on the in the yard area. So 60 days isn't something that is unreasonable.
You good with that, Amy?
I question it, but
Well.
I mean, is anyone living
You
in
got an
it?
explanation, are you good with it?
Is anyone living in the property?
The vacant property, no.
Okay.
Okay, Ted?
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it. Good deal. All right, let's move on. Okay. What's the next one?
Case number 1, back to that, because it's not 2 o'clock yet and Mr. Williams will not be here until 2.
Okay, so,
I'm sorry.
number 1 did not come, 127 South 48th Street. She had a 1 o'clock, time and it's 1:35. Okay, so you want to read that into the record? And on that, we said she has 60 days to get a permit and make safe. Or
I
whomever,
don't know
right?
what Tom said.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have it written down, 60 days to get a permit and make safe. All right, we'll read it into the record. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Robbie.
Okay,
Philadelphia.
Tom.
Questions?
Okay, anybody testifying in the case, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, respond.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, tell us what's up with this case.
So this is a property at 127 South 48th Street that has been declared as unsafe for conditions of the front and rear of the property. The appellant's appeal filing makes reference that they have an application with PHDC, which is the Philadelphia Housing Development Corporation, for their basic repair program. It's my assertion to the board, the appellant has not appeared for today's hearing, but it is my assertion with the board that they grant a variance for 60 days to get a permit for the repair of this property.
Okay, I'm fine with it. Aim,
I'm fine.
Ted,
I'm fine.
okay, we granted the variance 60 days to get a permit to make safe. Okay,
Phil,
next.
did you read that into the record?
No, I did not.
Needs to read it. Go ahead,
Oh,
please.
sorry. Phil,
This
read
was-
it into the record.
This is case number 1 on today's list. The MI.
You
is
got it, Phil.
22005-459 for 127 South 48th Street. The appellant was Trina Davis. There's no answer from Trina Davis today in the room.
Okay, there's one more case on our list that there's a settlement for, case number 8. Tom spoke to Mr. Andrew Miller. They
Okay.
came to a settlement as well. We can also
Okay.
read that into the record now if
All
you'd
right.
like, since we're
No, we'll
on.
read it in right now. Okay,
Okay,
Wayne
so-
Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Robakowski, City of Philadelphia, license and inspections.
Okay, anybody testifying in the case, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Respond.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, tell us about case number, okay, first of all, Phil, read it into the
You got it.
record.
This is case number 8 on the list, MI 2022006-155. The property is 3051 North Fifth Street. The appellant is Andrew Miller, Esquire.
Tom, tell us what the settlement was here.
So this is a property at 3051 North Fifth Street. This is a large vacant place of worship that the appellant spoke to me about yesterday. The agreement was made that they pull a make safe permit or a demolition permit for the repair of this property within 60 days.
Okay, make safe or demo, 60 days to have the permit. Okay. All right, Amy, you good with this?
Yeah, that was just unsafe, correct?
Yes.
Just unsafe. Okay, Ted?
I'm okay.
And I'm okay with it. Okay, good deal. Let's move on.
We can go off the record now. Hi, how are you today? Can you hear us?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Okay, so,
All right. Let's get,
Gonna read
let
the
Deb
case.
get it rolling. All right, Deb, everything's good?
want to read it into the record?
No, I want to introduce ourselves first.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Robakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
Okay, anybody gonna be testifying in this case, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and respond.
Yes.
Okay, same for the lawyer.
Lawrence Mester on behalf of the owner. We have a
Okay,
deal.
But you didn't respond when I asked you. Okay, you want to swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, good deal. Phil, read it in the record.
This is case number 4 on today's list. MI 2022-005-872. 4037 West Girard Avenue. Lawrence Mester Esquire is the appellant.
Okay, all right. Tom, you want to tell us a little bit about this case?
So as previously represented in front of the board, this property or this case represents the property at 4037 West Girard Avenue. The property was first declared unsafe prior, but now has been declared as eminently dangerous by the department. In communications with the appellant or the representing for the appellant, Mr. Meth, we have come to the agreement to obtain either a make safe permit or a demolition permit within 60 days for the repair or demolition of this property.
Appellant concurs.
Okay,
You concur? Okay. All right, good deal.
Thank you for
I'm
your
doing
time.
it.
Inspector, thank you for your consideration. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being prompt. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Jamie, let's get that rolling. Deb? Okay, good deal. I will get started. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Good afternoon, Marshall Williams, members of the board and members of the administration.
Mr. Williams, are you able to turn on your video on your device?
I'm on my cell phone and I'm looking for that now. Leave meeting got it. I was able to turn on the audio. I'm just not certain as to how to turn the video on.
What options do you see on your phone?
I see the meeting is being recorded and hosted by by the host or participant. Also, the leave meeting got it, and then there's a account owner in the middle of the screen.
And how did you turn on your microphone?
I turned the phone off. Somebody, Mr. Richardson suggested I turn it off. I turned my phone off and I turned it back on, and then I hit the launch meet. I think I hit launch meeting or launch whatever said launch. And then the video came up of Miss I'm guessing Miss Richardson. She has kind of brownish looking hair, and a gentleman with a shirt and tie on, and then another gentleman who appeared to have, both gentlemen appeared to have glasses on. But right now, the only thing that I can see is this meeting is being recorded by the host and participant. I can try to leave the meeting or got it, but I don't know what I'll disconnect in doing so.
You got it. It got it. Give it a shot.
Got, okay, it says got it now. Okay.
Okay, yeah, hit it. Yeah.
Okay, your microphone is unmuted. Done speaking. Marshall Williams is speaking.
Can
Yeah,
I
we
make
can
a
hear you.
recommendation? Can I recommend something? If the host, there's an ellipse button above Mr. Marshall's screen, and it will ask him to start the video. And that should prompt him.
I see
I did that.
those two. I see start video. Start my video.
Yeah.
Should I
Like that,
should I
Marshall.
try
Please
that?
do.
Okay.
Please do.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Allow Zoom to take pictures and videos while using this app. Only this time do not allow. Which one should I press?
Allow.
Allow.
Okay. allow is not a selection. I can push this only this time, do not allow. And the third option is while using this app.
While
While
using
using this app.
That was no charge, by the way, board.
Hey, there you go.
There we go.
Huh? Hey,
Okay, it's working.
I'm not the only one that don't know how to use this stuff. Okay, want to get
So nice to
started?
see you. All righty.
All right. So, did we introduce ourselves yet?
Yes, but we
No.
didn't
Okay,
hear
I'm Ray
Tom.
Miller,
Tom
board
was the only
member.
Oh, you're right. We didn't hear Tom.
Oh, we didn't hear you, Tom.
Thomas Rabikowski, City of Philadelphia License and Inspection.
Okay, anybody testifying in this case, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Respond.
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right, Phil, read it into the record.
Yes, sir. This is case number 5 on the list, MI 2022-006-718 for the property at 4939 Chestnut Street. Marshall Williams is our appellant. Mr. Williams?
Good afternoon, members of the board and to the administrative staff. I am filed an appeal indicating really that I need more time to address the violations that were listed in the, I guess, in the order. And since that time, however, a number of things have been done to address the violations. And I tried to send over today a before and after of the things that have been done to address the issues listed in the violation notice. I do think that we've made a lot of progress in addressing those, and I would respectfully ask that the board consider all of the photographs that were sent over. And there were 12, and again, they just show both before and after dealing with those particular issues, like the porch roof, and I believe the parlor, and then some of the items that were shown as I suspect as debris, which are really building materials is needed to attach a new porch roof, and to also deal with the some of the bricks that are loose on the pier, I guess you would call it. On or about the 8th of December, we were able to completely correct all of the disrepair with the bricks, and I think that's on the west pile up here. And there are photographs, I believe, that show the result of doing that particular repair. We also
Okay,
got
Mr. Williams, question. Did you have a licensed contractor do that?
I'm not sure whether the person was licensed contractor. I tried to get several different contractors to do the repair over the last, I guess, 2 or 3 months at least. And
Okay, did you have anyone that pulled a permit?
Did not. I don't think that the person pulled a permit.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go over, we'll hear what Tom has to say, and then according to what the violations are, and then we'll let you speak again. Tom, let me hear what you have.
So in the interest of time, we just going to ask Mr. Williams one question. Does work have to be done to the front porch of the property?
To the front porch, and let me, if I may, say the difference between the porch that is.
Hold on.
First floor.
Hold on.
Hold on, Mr. Williams. Go ahead, Tom.
It's just a yes/no question. Does work have to be done to the porch? And once you answer, then I'll go right into what my proposal to the board is.
If you are speaking of the front porch that is on the first floor, the railing needs to be replaced there, only because someone broke the railing, taking some of the building supplies there. I have purchased a new railing, and that will be installed, as probably this weekend. I'm assuming.
Do we have any pictures on this?
Yes.
Yes,
on
you do.
my screen, and I'm gonna show
All right,
pictures.
bring them up.
The property has been unsafe since 2017. And then and there is progressing work being done to the property. After I show my photographs, my assertion to the board is that you obtain the services of a licensed and insured contractor and get a make safe permit for the repair of this front porch, in that there is work that needs to be done from top to bottom, which means the floor assembly of the front porch, the middle floor assemblies, or the second story floor assemblies of the front porch, and the roof of the front porch need to be repaired and done under the terms of a make safe permit pulled by a licensed contractor. My assertion to the board is to pull that permit within 60 days. But I'm going to share my screen now.
I'm not able to see the screen at this point.
Okay, so here's my the screen that I'm sharing with the board. This shows the front of the property at 4939 Chestnut Street. You can see that there's deterioration of the roof assembly. You can see that there's deterioration of the second floor assembly of the porch, and then there's deterioration of the front of the front floor. Then if there's another photograph attached that shows from a side view of the property, that you can see that there's issues with the front porch as well. And then, just in the interest of time, I'm going to go right to this photograph right here. Right here, you can see that this photograph was taken November 28th. So approximately 3 weeks ago, where you can see that the handrail itself is broken, but there is loose and missing material at the floor assembly. And there is a lot of construction debris or construction materials that have been placed on this property, and that the floor assemblies on the second floor have been removed, and these wood I-beams have been placed on the property. That all requires a permit, and it needs to be done by a licensed insured contractor. So, for the basis of the record, all work needs to stop, and it needs to be done by a licensed insured contractor. With that said, I'm going to rest and turn it over to the board.
Okay, Mr. Williams, are you aware that you have to do this? I mean, you have to have a licensed contractor to do the work by the city, and anybody in order to even pull the permit. And if you're not, then that work is invalid until you get a licensed contractor to do the work. Do you have any idea who you're going to get? Because the city has a list of licensed contractors that you could choose from. If you're aware, I don't know if you're aware of it, but the thing is we're going to have to go along with the inspector's way he's thinking of this, about the 60 days to get a make safe permit and get the work done. So do you have any issues with that?
I respectfully have not, and perhaps it's my deficiency with the technology, seen the photographs that he has presented to the board, and I'm not certain as to whether the board has had an opportunity to see the photographs that I submitted. But
when did you submit your photographs?
I tried to submit them about 1:35, and I don't know whether they went through or not, but I sent them over by email, and I also sent them. It appears that they also went by Google Link. It was a fairly large file, about 12 photographs, and it also had a cover letter to it. I'd ask the board to consider that, but because those photographs they are after. They're after, I believe he said, November the 28th of this year.
I understand that, but you still must have a permit. That guy and a licensed contractor to do this, and you don't have that.
Well, look, I respectfully agree that I didn't know that I needed a licensed contractor. In fact, some of the photographs that they include drawings that were done by a contractor showing what, needs to be done, what materials are needed, and what, and also what, what the layout would be, or the configuration of, of the porch on the second floor, as well as what would be needed for the roof.
Do we have those pictures? Anybody,
Well, it
Tom or
doesn't matter.
Debbie?
I did not receive those as the beginning of the hearing, though as soon as we pause, I will check to see if I have them and I'll forward them over to you.
Okay, but
I just checked
again,
my email and I do not have them.
okay, but again, you need a permit, and the only thing we can do, because of what the pictures that we have seen, you got 60 days to get a permit and make it
May I
safe.
ask one? What I understand. May I ask one question, please?
Yes,
This is
yes.
a building according to the contractor, who is really not. He's from New Jersey, not Pennsylvania. But according to the contractor, because the building is 100 that was built in 1925, to do the restorations and repairs, which might include what you've already said, that a permit may not be required. But I don't know. I was just listening to the contractor. But
We saw pictures of floor joists being put in, and anything structural requires a permit. It looked like roof work had to be done at the porch. Second floor was in the process of getting rebuilt. And I couldn't see good pictures of the first floor porch, but it looks like that needed work also. But that all requires a permit.
Yes, okay, yes. I
So you
understand.
need a contractor that can apply for that permit. Not just get the work done and then send pictures after the fact. You have to apply for the permit.
I understand.
Okay, so,
And one last question.
sure.
In applying for the contract, okay, okay, I understand. I mean the permit. Am I permitted to? Where would I find the list, please, for the contractors who could pull the permit?
Tom,
So for who can pull the permit, so the department will allow five entities to pull a permit. Those 5 entities are the owner of the property, but at the time the permit is to be issued, a contractor must be named. An attorney can pull a permit. Again, a contractor must be named. A design person, meaning an engineer, an expediter. Those are in essence the individuals that can apply for a permit for the repair of the property. But before that permit is issued, a licensed and insured contractor must be named to that permit.
Yes, I got it.
And they need to be
Okay.
licensed with the city of Philadelphia.
yes,
They cannot be licensed with the state of Pennsylvania, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
They can be licensed with the state of Pennsylvania, but they have to be able to have a permit issued, which means they meet all the requirements of a licensed and insured contractor in the city, meaning they meet all the revenue requirements.
yep. Business privilege license, and things like that. Yeah. So, so that's, Mr. Williams, that's where we stand. And again,
I know I appreciate exactly what the members of the board have stated. My only other question is that given the holidays and given the somewhat at times coldness of the weather, would the board grant me a little bit more time to get the repairs completed? Because I don't know whether people will be available during these 3 holidays that are coming up, over within the next 30 days. And then secondly, toward even today and in January, my thinking is that the weather will be very cold, inclement at least. So my question, I guess, is rather than trying to get everything done within 60 days, would the board consider giving me an additional probably 75 to 60, 75 to 90 days.
Mr. Williams, you don't have to have the work done in 60 days, you have to have a permit pulled in 60 days.
Okay. I see.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to have the work completely done in 60 days, but when you pull the you have up to 60 days to get a permit. And then then what you do with that permit, you continue to work until it's made safe. Yeah,
I
you don't
see.
have to have the work finished. You just need to
I
pull the
understand you.
permit in 60 days.
Thank you for that, clarification. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right,
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you, members of
good
the board.
luck, all right?
Thank you again.
Okay,
Bye.
Cal. Talk to you. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay,
Okay, back on the record.
okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
Matthew, we can't hear you.
You're muted, Matthew.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administrator.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Rabikowski, City of Philadelphia, licensed.
Okay, anybody gonna testify in the hearing, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, respond, please.
Yeah.
Woody?
do.
Okay, okay, Tom, or Phil, could you read this into the record, please?
Yes, sir. This is case number 6 on the list, MI 2022-000253 for the property at 4614 to 4616 Chester Avenue. The appellant is Elwood Van Sciver.
Okay, Tom, just give us a little bit of what's going about this case.
So what we have is the property at 4614 through 16 Chester Avenue was declared unsafe for conditions of a detached garage in which there is missing bricks on the sidewall adjacent to what appears to be 4623 Regent Street. It is my assertion with the board. I'll share a single photograph showing this area. You can see that stucco that has peeled off of this wall, reviewing the brickwork that is delaminating and the mortar work that is showing signs of deterioration. So yes, it does require a repair for this property. And I'll just share my screen. My assertion to the board is that a permit be ascertained within 90 days for the repair of the property. But I'll share my screen in the time, and I'll just show the one photograph. So I'll just go right to the photograph. So this is a photograph that was taken December 6th of 2021, showing the sidewall. You can see that the stucco work is chipping away, revealing the masonry brickwork underneath that stucco work. And you can see along the area that there is some delamination and mortar that is missing from that brickwork.
Okay, Mr. Sciver, tell us
Yes.
what you think.
Well, Ed, I sent you some documents, including the official copy of the deed for 4623 Regent Street, and it showed that their property line travels through that wall. So that's a party wall, and that side of the wall is 4623 Regent's property.
Okay.
So my assertion with the board is if that's the case, then I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. Mr. Van Sciver would have to ascertain a survey, basically saying that he does not own that portion of the wall.
Okay, and and you don't own the portion of that wall, right? Is that right?
Well, if you read the deed for 4623 Regent Street, which I provided to you, it says that their property line travels through that wall.
All right, what do we do now?
I mean, Tom, why wouldn't that be as good as a survey?
I don't have that document in front of me. So if that's the first time that I'm hearing about it.
Okay, you sent that over, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have that?
Phil, is that something that you received?
I did receive paperwork for that case. As I said, I may have labeled it as case 7, but it was sent over.
Okay. So
Likely,
if,
I could share my screen if you'd like.
Oh, I just
sure,
found it.
yeah, sure. That's a good idea.
Oh, Amy, you found it? Oh.
I found, yeah, the documentation.
Okay.
Yeah, there are
somebody
other
share their
photos. The
screen-
wall is a
screen.
mess.
Let's share the screen, whoever's gonna do it.
Want me to do it? All right, hold on.
Yeah, that's it.
There's one picture of the wall.
Okay,
That photo there is actually the north wall. That's why Elle and I originally came to the property to address that, and that's a separate matter, I believe.
I wouldn't say that that's a separate matter. It's the same building.
No, sir, I don't have anything to do with that wall. See, there's an
All right,
outline of the parcels there.
Well, here's the other wall, and you're saying it's this wall that I'm following with my
Correct.
cursor?
Yes, that's the wall that you'll see up in there's a photo of it there that shows that wall, yes.
Mhm.
shared party wall, that's what I say? I didn't see it.
Sorry, where is the north wall that you were talking about?
Well,
Here.
The north wall is, no, that's the east wall. That's the party wall between my property and 4623 Regent Street. The
Isn't that what
north
this
wall,
picture
which
is?
was, pardon me?
That's not what this picture is?
No, that is what that picture is.
Okay.
The picture that was shown on the page, on the prior page with the missing and deteriorated brick is the north wall, and that's why Elle and I came to the property to look at it, because that wall was falling apart.
When you
That's a
say
different
north
property
wall,
owner.
are you talking, I mean, this could be north or this could be north.
No, ma'am, no, you have to stay within the 4623 Regent Street backyard. That's the property there. that you're
Okay.
Looking at, yes. So that at the top of at the prior page, if you scroll up to the prior page, that wall at the top was the north wall. That's another property owner that they're adjacent to.
So it would be this wall.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
That's the other wall. Now, if you
Okay.
scroll down to the next couple pages, you'll see the deed, and I've highlighted the description there,
Right there, hold on.
right there.
What's it say? Hold on, let me think. Don't leave that, I want to read it. Come up here. South 40 degrees, 32 minutes, 30 seconds east on a line through a wall 30 feet to a point. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, that doesn't say that the wall is specifically Regent Street or yours. That would be something that a surveyor would have to come out, match the deed up to the survey points, and say whether or not this wall is Regent Street. So if that's what you're ascertaining, you need to present a survey report to the board saying, I don't own this wall. And we would comply the violation per that survey report, not the deed of the property.
The deed of the property says that the property line travels through THRU, the wall. It says it plainly in English.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, this is Hillary Emerson. So I know that the streets department survey unit will do determinations of responsibilities for these shared walls, and maybe that would be the appropriate course of action in this case, is have them look at the deeds for both properties and determine who is responsible for the maintenance of the wall.
Okay.
So my is that this needs to be continued for surveys to come out and survey this wall. And that would have to be with the streets department. From my understanding, the streets department is about 3 to 6 months behind in their surveys. So it would be my assertion that this be continued for at least 90 days.
Okay, and then, Mr. Scriber wouldn't be fined or anything until this is settled, right?
So we wouldn't seek any kind of enforcement unless the board made a ruling.
Okay, well, the thing is until we find out whose wall it is, by what the city has to survey, then we'll make our decision.
So we're just continuing.
Yeah, so we'll continue it, okay? And now, this doesn't cost Mr. Scriber any money, does it?
Typically, the streets department will assess a cost of approximately $300 for a survey. Where that is determined, as that's the streets department, not license and inspections, I'm not 100% sure.
And this is Hillary again. For the determinations of responsibility, I don't know if they have a charge for that. But definitely if you have a survey or a stakeout done, there is absolutely a charge for that.
Well, Mr. Scriber says that's not his wall.
Well,
So,
no, actually, part
the city
of the wall,
has-
part of the wall is mine. There used to be, a long time in the past, there was a structure there and it was a party wall. And that
Okay.
structure was removed, but
All right.
I'm still using part of that wall to hold up my garage.
So you got half that wall.
Well, and arguably your neighbor is, jeopardizing the condition of your half of the wall.
Well,
Tom, should a violation be also written for the property on Regent Street?
If the streets department came back, depending on the
The
survey,
survey, okay.
then yes, we would issue the violations to all parties accordingly.
All right, get the street people out there to do a survey. And everything will be continued till we get what the survey is. Okay?
okay,
All right. Thank you.
thank you.
All right,
Bye.
okay, good deal.
And recording?
And recording, correct. Man, that's. Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Robakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
Okay, anybody testifying in the case, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That would be Tom, and would be the appellant.
I'm Edward Kazarian,
Okay.
and I
Edward,
swear,
You swear to it?
Truth
Good,
and all that.
okay. All right, Phil, read it into the record.
This is case number 7 on today's list, MI 2022-006-701 for the property at 5409 Thomas Avenue. Edward Kazarian is the appellant.
Okay, Tom, fill us in a little bit before we, with the case, please.
So what we have is appeal was filed in response to a unsafe case written against the property at 5409 Thomas Avenue for violations or for issues that were cited against the property for unsafe conditions with the front porch following a vehicle impact. I'm basically just going to share one photograph. And the appeal paperwork does speak that they are working with insurance companies and so on to make the necessary repairs. My assertion to the board is to obtain a permit within 60 days for the repair of the porch. But that said, I'm going to share my screen. And like I said, in
Wow.
photograph that was taken of the subject premise, you can see that the vehicle landed at the porch. That's what responded to the emergency call. You can see that the property was posted, and the vehicle was removed, and there is a temporary support of that porch that needs to be repaired.
Okay.
Right.
Edward, you want to give us your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what happened, right? We had a car accident. We don't know how exactly it happened, but that ended up where it ended up. Took out that porch pole. We are, the insurance company is, my public adjuster is working with my insurance company to figure this out. The insurance company has on the 23rd of November, we had an engineer out to take a look at the property. I'm still waiting to get that report from the engineer, unfortunately. I had hoped to have it by now, but I do not yet have it. But we are, as soon as everybody can figure everything out, our plan is to get this permanently repaired as soon as we possibly can. It's just a matter of the process is dragging, and I'm sort of stuck until the various other parties kind of come through with their end of things.
And is the post supporting the porch roofs of both properties? Or is it on?
It's just, I mean, they're all like obviously hooked together, but we put up that post to support, the roof, that side, the corner of the roof of my property, and it's on my footing, or what's left of my footing there. I kind of got it secured onto that and secured up at the top so that it should stay in place.
Are you good with 60 days to get a permit if everything comes through?
I hope so, but I honestly, I mean, like, my real problem is I just have no idea. I have no idea what's happening at their end. I've reached out to them again and sort of said, when am I going to get an engineer's report on this? When am I going to get, some money to do something? And my adjuster called them and they have not returned his call. So what happens if I can't get it done in 60 days at this point? Would I have to file another appeal for an extension or something, or where would we be? I mean, I would hope it could be done, but it's a matter of just, I'm really at a loss here. I'm trying to manage this basically myself, and I'm waiting for everybody to deal with it. I have a feeling there's legal stuff involved here too, because the car was being driven by 15-year-olds. We have a suspicion there was a police chase, but we don't know that for sure. I know the insurance company's hired an investigator to try to figure out what's going on. So I don't know all the things that are delaying it, but I suspect there's a lot.
One thing to be clear
Work done within 60 days. You just have to have the permit.
I just have to get a permit. Okay,
Yes,
but
which
to
means
get the
you-
permit, I need to know exactly what has to be done, right? I have to have
Right, you need this engineer's report.
Engineer.
And you have to have a contractor ready.
Right. I was hoping to have the engineer's report. I don't.
Is there what else can we do with this?
You could push it out more time if you feel that that's warranted. As far as anything as an enforcement action after the 60 days, basically what would happen is the area inspector could choose to send it to our court program. But basically what I'm going to say to the appellant is stay in contact with your area inspector. Your area inspector would be Inspector Trainer. Stay in contact with Inspector Trainer, because if he knows that you're working on it and there's support, he can work with you in not progressing it to a further action. Now, if you
right, now I don't have his name. Trainer, you said?
Traynor.
NOR. Okay, and that's my area inspector. Okay. Can somebody give me his contact?
Sure, it's 215. 686. 25.
25. I'm sorry, you broke up.
2583.
83. Okay. All right. So that's who I have to speak to. All right. Yeah.
I would
That
speak
helps.
closer to the 60-day mark. If you're not making any progress with the repair, you're not making any progress with the report, I would speak to him and say, hey, I had a hearing with the Board of Building Standards. They granted me a variance for whatever the time is, because I'm not the board. But
Right.
granted me whatever, and I need a little bit more time. He may work with you, he may not, but he may work with you. And like I said, if it goes to enforcement after that, but a lot of times the inspectors know that you're trying. As long as we see something happening, then we'll work with you.
Right. That I'm not leaving. I'm just abandoning it. Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm absolutely want to get this fixed as soon as possible. I'm actually, I'm not happy, honestly, that it's been stuck as it is for as long as it is. For sure. I'm definitely not happy about it being stuck like this as the winter is coming on, but yeah, so I mean, I'm going to push, I have been pushing and I will continue to push, to kind of get it done as quickly as possible, for sure. I'm just leery of committing myself to a schedule that I don't know I can meet, if you understand, just the
It's
reality of
out of
my
your
situation.
control with what the insurance
Yeah.
companies are gonna do. So,
Exactly. That's what's worrying me. And just the problem of finding a contractor, but I don't think that's a big problem once I have the insurance company kind of on board.
Yeah, you have to have a licensed contractor from the city. And
Okay.
in order to pull a permit. Okay.
And one
Right,
thing
I understand
you
that,
might
yeah.
do is tell the adjuster that, you've been given 60-day extension with this, but, they gotta make that happen. So,
Yeah, because I can then tell them basically it's going to cost them more money if you all start fining me and they have to pay that.
Right.
That might just create
Gotta
motivation.
Kick them in the gear. Yeah. So all we'll do is put 60 days and stay in touch with the inspector. Let him know that the board said that, we're working with you, and if it's a little bit over, we don't have a problem with it.
Okay. So 60 days, stay in touch with, and that'll be 60 days from today
Yeah, 60 days from today.
or from, okay, stay in touch with inspector. Let him know the board. Let me
Tom, what
try
is
to write this
Inspector
down.
Trainer's first name?
Jim.
So
Jim?
james.trainer@phila.gov would be an email form.
Yes.
James.traynor@phila.gov.
.gov.
Okay, and so let him know that the board said, that basically to keep in touch with him and
Yeah,
if
and
I'm
if
having
it
any
runs
problems
over
with
60
deadlines.
days, make sure prior to coming up to the 60 days, I'm getting in touch with him and say, look, I'm still waiting. I'm trying to push him, but as soon as I get it, I'd like to get it worked on, and I'm sure he'll work with you a little
Okay.
bit. All right?
Okay. I appreciate everyone's help. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. All right.
So
thank
you'll
you.
send me formal notice of all this too?
Yes. We'll
Okay.
get something from we'll send something, right, Deb?
Get our decision notice.
Yeah,
Send
decision
Yeah.
notice. Yeah, you'll get that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
All right,
You're
good luck.
welcome. Good luck.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
And recording?
Is the recording started?
Yes, and we're
Okay.
back on the record.
All right. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI Supervisor.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Okay. We're gonna swear you in individually. So we'll start out first with Mike. Mike, you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Please respond.
I do.
Okay, the next one would be, let me see, Caitlin. Okay, raise your right hand, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, next one.
Mr.
Ellie?
Chair, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, can each participant state their full name when they're sworn?
Okay, Mike, we'll go back to you, state your full name.
Michael Hampton.
Okay, Caitlin.
Caitlin Worrell,
Spell
Okay.
Worrell.
Worrell.
Okay, Miss Gilmore. You swear to
Ellie
tell the truth,
Gilmore.
the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Okay, state your name.
Ellie Gilmore.
Okay, the next one, Joe Headley. Joe, raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do, and my name is Joe Headley.
Okay, over to Mita. Could you please raise your right hand? Do I have the right? Okay.
Yes,
Please raise your right
I
hand
do.
and swear to tell the truth.
My name is
the whole
Miad.
truth. What, excuse me?
Yes.
Tell me again, please.
Yes,
Okay, all right, good. State your name.
my name is Miad Aldosari.
Okay, so we have all five in. Phil, could you read that into the record?
Wait, Miad, can you spell your last name for the court reporter?
Sure, it's ALDOSARI.
Okay, Phil, read it into the record.
This is case number 9 on today's list, MI 2022-007-095 for the property located at 432 Fanshawe Street.
Okay, whoever's going to present the case, go ahead.
All right. Hi, everyone. We are the applicant from Permit Philly. As everyone stated their name, we have the owner of the property, Joe, and also the architect team, Michael and Caitlin. The application that we are presenting was for legalization and documentation of 5 units, an existing structure. The work was done without a permit, and we are here looking to waive the requirement for the sprinkler system. Michael and Joe, if you have anything else to add, please do.
I guess the only thing I'd like to add is that it has been this way since 1954.
Can you be specific about the work that was done?
The only work that we did was actually take down a door to make 2 units into one. Other than that, it's been that way since, like I was saying, maybe 54 or 57.
And you had to demo a kitchen?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, we did take a kitchen out. We did not, we just removed some kitchen cabinets.
Oh, it always was a 6-unit rental property or family?
Yes. Yes, we have housing search way back until the 50s.
Sorry, go ahead, Wayne.
No, go ahead.
The drawings that show 1-hour separations around the stairs and so on, is that just showing something that has been in existence since the 50s, or is that new work?
Nothing. This has all been in existence.
I have Brianna Hampton in the waiting room. I'm gonna bring her
Yes.
in.
Could
Is
you
that okay?
bring Brianna Hampton? This is Michael Hampton.
Would you
Come try us on a
us
laptop.
to share the plans?
I can't hear that.
Would you like us to share the plan, to present the plans?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ali, would you please do that?
Is this a new guy in there?
This is me, Michael Hampton.
Hey, Michael.
How you
Be sure
doing?
he
Good to
is
see
if
you.
you're gonna testify.
Good to be
You already
seen.
did.
Oh, he did?
Already
Did
testified.
Michael? Oh, he's in the picture now. Okay. Before he was just doing video or audio. Okay. Go ahead.
So just to kind of walk you through what we have
Okay,
here.
excuse me, Mr. Hampton, maybe close the other device, because now there's an echo. You're coming through on the other device as well. So yeah, the one you're previously on, you can close that one and then the one we have the video for. Yep.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, Michael.
So we lost the echo, right?
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah,
perfect.
you're fine.
Forgive me. So we went out initially and surveyed the building. We measured the building top to bottom as far as the floor plans were concerned. We took photographs. We kind of documented the existing conditions of what we saw to present to L&I for to legalize the building, whatever it was going to take. So what we have here is A100 sheet is basically the floor plans, basement through the 3rd floor. The layout basically works as if you enter the building in the front of the building, actually on Fanshawe Street, the front door. You walk directly into an exit corridor, which you walk directly, you know, a few feet upstairs to a 2nd floor level, which is a landing, which is actually unit 3. And then if you continue up those stairs to the very top, you get to the 3rd floor, which is unit 5. If you enter the building from the side, you enter into unit 1 directly. And to get into unit 2 is a direct entrance as well from the back. There's another unit on the 2nd floor in the back, unit 4, which has a direct entrance off the side in the middle. The rest of the layout is just illustrated as it's built. So we're just basically showing you the plan as it is. Does anybody have any questions?
So how much, so you didn't pull any permits for doing any of the work?
To pull the door and the kitchen cabinets? No, we did not. I didn't know that you needed them just to, when I say pull a door, all we did was take the hinges pins out and took it out and then remove the cabinets.
So this is Lieutenant Dimes Fire Code. So there's no major renovations going on in this property. The only change is a unhinged door. Am I understanding that right?
And removing the, like, I guess it was 3 cabinets.
Okay, so and then you're just, so the change from a 6 to a 5 unit is just removal of a door?
Yes.
Thank you.
So why did you apply for a zoning permit in January for a 6-unit building, but then you made it a 5-unit building?
Because this property from, like I said, the 50s was always a 6-unit.
Okay.
And then when we had them come out and fill out, make the plans, we just felt that we at some point wanted to convert it back to the 6 units. And they said that we have to do it the way it is right now. So that's why it was changed to a 5-unit, because it's only being used as a 5-unit.
Sorry,
Is it me or did that not make sense?
to add, it was at the beginning, a while back, they got a zoning for the 6th unit. However, there have never been a CO or a building permit has been issued for these 6 units. Then there's a change was made to make it to 5 units. Then they got violated. The inspector has asked for rental license, and in order to get the rental license, they need a zoning permit and also the building permit to proceed.
So that explains why on the 3rd floor, there's only 1 bathroom and 1 kitchen, but it conceivably might have been 2 units, but it actually never was built that way, and it was only permitted that way, but never followed through.
At one point, I remember back in, before these guys, before it was used as a 1 unit, it literally was a 1 bedroom in the front, studio in the back with a shared bathroom, believe it or not.
Okay, so guys, this is Lieutenant Dimes again. So it seems that there's no change of use. There's no level 3 modification or renovation. It's just a small change in configuration. And they're trying to legalize something that's been this way for over 50 years. And I'm on the Google Earth, and I do see 6 meters on the side of the building if I look at it correctly. You got a green door on the front of that? I mean, this thing's from.
Yes.
Green door, so, okay, I am looking at the right property because I can't read the address. Oh, there it is, okay. So is that accurate, that what I stated accurate? There's really no major reservations going on? And it's just.
Not at all.
Legalizing something that's been there for 50 years, okay.
We
But
weren't
what about the
proposing
walls
any-
though?
We didn't take any walls down.
But what about the fire separations like between the units? Because the plans are showing that it's supposed to comply with like UL listings have. I don't think UL even existed in the 50s. So it's like, are you actually doing the work to make sure it's out like a fire separations or not? Because that's work.
We didn't do anything. All we did was take one door off the hinges. That was it.
Right, because right now the plans are saying that these walls, the like a wall type 2 says it's going to be like a 1 hour rated, like with a UL design, but you're saying that you're not actually going to do any of that.
And if the architect or whoever called for it wanted that, we would do whatever they would want. But I'm not aware of any work being done at all. I would assume that those walls are like that already.
We didn't,
I mean,
we didn't take any core samples of the walls, so we're not saying that's what we actually, we're not certifying the walls or that usually has to be done on inspection.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
because it's
Are they
like,
drywall, are they plaster? Do you know what they are at all, the walls?
yeah.
They're
They're plaster.
drywall.
Okay.
Oh, are they? I'm not sure. I thought they were plaster.
The interior walls are drywall. I can't say all of them are, but I didn't. There could be some plaster in there, but the interior walls they all seem to be drywall.
You had stated that you have pictures of the inside. Do you have pictures that you can show us now?
I did present some to Permit Philly. I think they should be able to bring some of them up of the exit enclosure.
Yep, I can do that. 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then pull up the photos.
And potentially this 3rd floor unit where the door was taken out.
I think there might be a photo of that.
Is this licensed for 5 units or 6 units? What's it licensed for, 6 units?
The rental license was for 1 unit from 2003 to 2020 is when it expired. That was the
And
only.
that was some kind of mistake. I don't know how that happened. That because we have every license that, I mean, this is all I do for a living. Where that 1 unit came in had to be a mistake somewhere because we've always had it as multi-unit. That's why I kept on going down to the city to work through with them because they bill us our taxes for a multi-unit. We pay a trash fee at the property. And I think we have like a commercial meter at the property. So we've always had it as a multifamily.
I'm trying to pull these up so I can show them all at once, but I had to minimize my Zoom screen so that you're not seeing yourself twice. So if Michael or Joe, if you could identify which pictures go to what, and I can try and zoom in on them a little bit more.
Absolutely, once you have them in place.
All right, so just, these are all a little bit smaller. I can make them smaller too. I just don't know how visible they'll be on everyone's screens. Okay. I didn't pull up the exterior photos, but if you need me to do that, I can.
I don't think they're the photos.
The picture on the far left, that's the exit corridor from the top of the 3rd floor landing, looking down.
And are there any photos in the 3rd floor unit? You thought there might have been one where the door got taken off the hinges?
That's the center top photo. The center top photo is taken right behind the first photo. And there's a doorway there. And it must be that door right there that Joe's talking about that was taken off.
Well, that would be the door that gets you in the unit. That should be a rated door, which I'm not sure that it looks like a rated door.
There's another door after that that I believe takes you in the unit. I'm not looking at the plan just a second. But that would, if those two doors were there, it would create a vestibule that's really not allowed in the exit enclosure. So that's the area from the third floor landing, and that's the threshold that the door may have been removed from.
I apologize for interrupting, but I don't believe this happened yet. Could the witnesses just briefly state their relation to the property for purposes of the record? I know we probably should have done this at the beginning of their testimony, but just so the record's clear, if all the witnesses.
My name's Joe Headley. I'm the owner of the property. I don't think that was the door.
The plans don't show a door like that at the third floor.
It shows a door there.
It does not.
I believe it shows a threshold there.
That might be the door then. I'm not.
To get
having
into Unit
trouble.
5, you would come up the steps and there's a big landing and then you go out a door on the left. There's no like small landing and a door right there. So I'm just confused.
Need to see the plan again.
I can pull that up.
Pull it up.
For record purposes, since I'm speaking, I'm Ellie Gilmore. I'm with Permit Philly, the applicant.
I'm Michael Hampton with MRH Design Studio, James Clancy Engineering. We did the drawings.
Do you see what I mean? At the third floor, that's not the condition at the top of the steps.
At the top of the steps on the third floor, you see the last step. Do you see that, those two bumps on the wall?
Oh, okay. All right. So that's where the door was that got taken out.
That's where the door was that got taken out. That door was there, obviously, when I took the picture, but it shouldn't be there. So it needed to be removed. Now, is that the door you're talking about, Joe?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't been to the property in a while.
If that door got taken out, there would have been two doors into two different units on that floor. No, if it was 6 units. So were walls built?
They're saying, Amy, they're saying it never was 6 units.
No, it was 6 units.
No, it was 6 units.
It was 6 units. They demoed a kitchen.
Well, if they demoed the kitchen, there couldn't have been 6 units unless they shared a bath.
They did. They did
Okay.
share a bathroom.
So basically, Unit 5 and the former Unit 5 and the Unit 6 shared what's the bathroom that just remained there. And that was in a common hall at that point?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Joe, would you say this drawing represents what the building is currently?
Me, myself?
Yes.
I think so. That's what, yeah, I'm looking at it. The best of my knowledge, it is.
And there's 5 units? Is that what it is?
Yes, yes.
I think we need the caucus. Okay,
Yes.
Can you put everybody in the waiting room?
Stop the recording at this point.
Yes.
Yes.
Recording.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jeez.
We're back on the record, correct?
Back on the record? Can you tell us why in June you applied for a permit to do alterations with the 2 bathrooms? And was that just a proposal or was that something that you were going to do?
First drawings that were submitted, you mean?
Yes, in June.
In June.
In June.
So what the drawings you have in front of you now represents what exactly is on the property as it stands now. When we measured it, whenever we measured it last spring. The drawing submitted in June, I was directed to show as 6 units, I believe, like it was before, because I believe zoning had been attained before I was even involved for 6 units, and they had plans to change it to 6 units. Somewhere in the middle, after we submitted for this, I think it didn't match, because I think the zoning was for 6 units or something didn't match between zoning and building, and they were rejected. So I was directed by the owner to change it back to 5. And
So you never did anything with the 6 units? You just let that went by the wayside?
That just went by the wayside. You're asking why?
Well, it's our understanding that the application in June for 6 units showed no new work, but there's 2 bathrooms shown on the 3rd floor, and everybody's insisting there were never 2 bathrooms on the 3rd floor. So
Yeah, there was never 2 bathrooms. We were kind of thinking that we were going to end up putting another bathroom in, but then we realized it was just too small to be able to do that and too much work to do that. So that's why we decided, you know what, just leave it as a 5 unit instead of putting the 6 unit back in play, because obviously today you cannot share a bathroom.
But clearly it should have been shown as new work on that submittal, but it wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
Water over the dam.
On that submittal, it should have been new work. It would
Well,
have
it
been
was
new
submitted
work.
as an application for no work, just a CO. That was the major problem.
Yeah, sorry, I just, at the beginning, when we got involved, Joe came to us with a zoning permit for 6 units. So he asked us to apply for the CO as like permit filling, and we applied for that application. However, in the middle of looking, when we received the RFI from the examiner, we contact Joe and his manager, and we tried to get like more clarification, because the comments like showed us that some work was done. So we clarified with him, and he told us actually there is 5 units existing, and they were thinking to add the 6th unit. So we told him that he needs to legalize whatever is existing. And this is why we went back, we amend the zoning to only just involve the 5 unit that existing at this time. And we applied for the building permit because there is a change of occupancy and a building permit was required.
So the change of occupancy went from 6 units to 5 units?
No,
Was it
from the
originally
beginning.
a 6 unit
No,
building?
I'm talking, no, from the beginning, since it's zoned as R5, and there is only zoning permit for the 6th unit a while back, and they've never been like a CO or a building permit or rental license or anything else. So when the violation that he got, it was asking for zoning, building permit, and rental license.
But the original building was a 6 unit building.
Yes,
When did they change it to 5?
a long time ago, as far as, I mean, over 25 years ago.
And is that listed, Matthew? That they changed it 25 years ago?
I mean,
20
that
years,
is just a
whatever.
guess. That was just a guess.
Yeah, there's
Okay, yeah,
nothing
no problem.
between like 1959 and now, as far as zoning permits are concerned, or any permits for that matter.
Right.
So that's anybody's guess when it
So is
became
that what
5.
triggered the sprinkler system, to going from the original 6 to the 5?
Wait, Okay, so that was triggered by, because the examiner viewed it as level 3 alterations, which it would have mattered either way. If it was level 2 or level 3, it's basically the same section. It's basically the same requirement. And I think it's because of presumed alterations to the fire resistance rated walls, or the walls that are supposed to be fire resistance rated. Because the plans are showing that those are at least going to be opened up and investigated to see whether or not they are actually 1 hour rated.
If that
'cause
was a
the-
6-unit building, they would have to do that, right?
Either way, they'd have to.
Oh, either way, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing was ever done with the plans you submitted in June to propose doing a 6-unit building, and you kept it at a 5.
Correct.
So now you need the 5-unit building to be legalized.
Yes.
Because originally your original building was a 6-unit building and it was changed.
Right.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
And what trigger, and your concern is the sprinkler system. If you did anything different, that you would have to put the sprinkler system in. So,
Yeah. Were you asking me that question?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we are trying to avoid having to put a sprinkler system in.
Right. Mhm. Okay.
So no one has confirmed all the 1 hour assemblies shown on the plans. You're saying no one's really confirmed those?
No,
Well-
not to my knowledge. And part of the reason that they're on the plan is because that's what's required. You know,
Right.
we're kind of interested in the safety of the people in the building. You know, I'm not suggesting sprinklers or anything. I'm glad there's a fire alarm system there. And I had actually reached out and made sure they had a current cert for that fire alarm system, which is good. And, you know, as the walls are called out in the drawings, that's what they need to be held to. So if there needs to, you know, like I said, you just have to go through L&I, they have to get permit, and I'm assuming they should always be an inspection on the site, you know, before you can close this thing out. You can get a permit, but that's only half of, that's not even half of it really. So I'm just, you know, if that work has to be done, if they don't meet what the hour rating is, then something would have to be done.
Matthew,
But
if
they are all original walls.
all right, but
No
your
walls have
drawings
been
are
changed.
showing 2 layers of type X drywall, et cetera, but you're also saying that's probably not what's there if it's an original wall.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure there's probably a combination of some sheetrock and some plaster. There has to be throughout the whole place, I'm sure.
Matthew, if all the walls that are shown as 1 hour walls had to be rated, would that be, what level alteration would that be?
Well, the thing is, if all they were doing was just basically just investigating those walls that are meant to be fire rated and seeing what kind of existing construction is there, because the fire code does have like a specific types of construction of walls that we will consider 1 hour rated construction, like existing. And I think I pulled it up somewhere, and it would be wood or metal studding with 5-inch rated.
You do double 5/8.
Yeah.
There's multiple ways to meet an
Actually,
hour
one,
rate.
yeah.
That's one
So
way.
so these are just the ones that are like considered existing, and if that's what's there, then that's fine. I can share that
But
section
it would
in the
require
chat.
No, you don't need to.
45-minute
All right.
doors as well, right? To the
Oh, yeah,
end.
they would need those doors to be fire rated too, yeah. I don't know where that section is exactly, but yeah, I do recall that is another thing. Like if it's within a required rated stairway, then the doors would have to be self-closing, 1 hour rated, all that.
Okay, but if what they showed on the plans was not 1 hour rated and had to all be upgraded, the doors and everything, would that constitute a more than a level 1 alteration?
It would constitute level 2, but it may not require the sprinklers depending on the area, but like the work area. So like they would have to show on the plans, like their exact work area in comparison to the rest of the building where they're not doing any work whatsoever.
Well, I'm saying based, and maybe just tell me I can't calculate it right now, but based on what is shown, you know, in the third floor, it's basically just the walls around the stair tower.
Right.
The second floor and the first floor, it's basically the walls around the stairs and then dividing the two apartments
Yeah.
and a ceiling assembly.
Yes. Yeah, that too. I think that might be where the examiner got level 3 alterations from.
Yeah, because I
Possibly.
don't think that's up to L&I to go out and investigate what's really there. That needs to be done by the design team and determine what needs to be done.
And either confirm that it does meet the 1 hour, or if it doesn't, then call for it, and then that work would have to be permitted, and that permit, you know, there would be inspections related to that permit. I mean, does that sound right, Matt? I mean, in terms of the process?
Yeah. Yeah, because I would cite that section of fire code saying, pick one of these, whichever one of these it is, call it out on the plans, inspector will check that it's that.
And if that's done, then they wouldn't need the sprinkler system, right?
Depends on how much they need to do work to the building. I'll try and find the one about the like horizontal ratings in the fire
Okay, so,
code.
so right now, we have to have an inspector go look at that?
No, I'm saying
well,
it's,
no.
it's the design professionals.
The designer, whoever does that, he does that. Right? Whoever's doing,
Yeah, somebody's got to determine what's there.
okay, who is that?
That would
Alright.
be a design professional or a consultant, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and okay, and you leave that up to the design professional or consultant to do that, right? And then and what they would do is report back to us that it meets the whatever code, you know, the code or the 1 hour, and then you wouldn't need a sprinkler system. Is that right?
It
would depend
depends.
on, it would depend on
What's
how
needed.
much they need to change.
If they
Sorry,
came back
Amy.
and said all the existing walls are, you know, 1 inch plaster on lath, blah, 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 here's a rating that it meets, it's all 1 hour, then they wouldn't have to do anything there, and they, you know, have to document the ceiling too, you know, does it meet the 1 hour? And then it would depend on how much has to actually be reworked.
Even if it's existing, even if was in there for umpteen years? Like if it's plaster or if it was sheetrock, I don't know when they start putting sheetrock in there, but even, and then you would go and then have to take that out or do
Or add
something
to
to it.
Or add to it, yeah.
Huh? All right.
I'll have to double check about the floor ceiling construction thing. I'm not. Oh, I'll have to double
The
check about
documents are
that.
showing that it's 1 hour, and
Oh,
I just, but they're showing it as a drywall 1 hour, and nobody really knows if it is.
Okay, so we have to find
Oh, I
out
see
if
what you
it
mean,
is.
yeah.
So we need the design person to do that and report back to us before we can give a variance.
Yeah, I confirmed that the doors, I mean, the picture that I saw on the door did not look like a 1 hour door, but
Okay.
Or
Are you
45
guys
can be part of the
willing to
work.
take care of that? If the doors aren't 1 hour, you'll put 1 hour doors on it. If the walls aren't 1 hour, you'll take care of that? Is that, and then you don't have to put the sprinkler system in? Is that what we're saying?
well, it
depends on how
has to be
much work
changed.
has to be done.
Yes, it's all dependent on that.
Yeah, it needs to be demonstrated, and at that point, it may not come back to us because a variance may not be needed.
Right now, we
Right.
need it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's either going to comply or not comply. You're not giving variance to do it, right? Yep.
Okay, and
Matthew,
that's
is
where it's
that,
at. That's where it's at.
Matthew, is that a particular report you need for that or just our findings?
It would just be your findings, and you could even like put it on the plans, like these walls are made of this, and this is what they're made of. And same with the floor ceiling, which I'm not entirely sure that has to be changed as per the fire code. But definitely the like separations between like the units, the interior, like the stairways that lead to the outside, those all have to be 1 hour rated. for
Was the
sure.
ceiling floor sandwich a separation between units that would have to meet a 1 hour rating?
Should.
It should.
Right.
Usually. I'm just trying to see if like the fire code has anything about that, which so far I'm not seeing it, but it might be somewhere else. I'll have to double check about that.
Okay, if they meet their requirements. And it's not as massive as we think it should be to kick in a sprinkler system, we wouldn't have to put a sprinkler system. And that
Right,
would be
if-
up to their professionals.
Right, yeah, so if they prove that like all the existing assemblies, separating units and the VDV egress and all that was all
Okay.
existing 1 hour rated, then
Let's do it, find it out. Find out and then report back to us, or if you don't, if you say it's good, then you just sign off on it, that it meets that and it's done. Everybody in agreement with that?
Makes sense?
Okay. Aim?
Yes.
Say?
Yes.
And I am too. Okay, that's it. All right. Good luck, guys.
All
Wait
right,
for
thank
your
you very
report.
much.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate your time.
all right, take it easy now.
Bye.
Are we ready to go off the record?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you're off the record.